Hello and welcome to Retelling Fates. My name is Eve and welcome to my creative writing project where I take a classic existing story and I ask a magic 8-ball yes or no questions in order to create a retelling of that same story. Welcome to the very first episode, everybody. Today is all about exposition and we're going to be planning out what the story is going to be. The story we will be retelling in this series is Cinderella, and if you don't know the Cinderella tale, a little bit concerned, just a little bit. Maybe you've been living under a rock, but it's a classic rags to riches story about a girl named Cinderella who is living in torment, basically. Cinderella is always doing their chores and being at their beck and call, and the prince announces that there's gonna be a ball. Cinderella really wants to go to the ball and she's asking her stepmother and stepsisters, like, can I go? And they're like, no, we're gonna go and you're gonna stay at home and clean the house. So Cinderella is distraught until her fairy godmother appears. The fairy godmother turns a pumpkin into a carriage and she turns mice into servants and she turns Cinderella's torn up dress into a beautiful ball gown. Most importantly, she turns her shoes into glass slippers. Cinderella looks beautiful and she's unrecognizable, well, until the magic fades away at 12 o'clock midnight. So she goes to the ball, nobody recognizes her, not even her evil stepmother or stepsisters. And the prince dances with her because she's the most beautiful woman at the ball. Until the clock strikes 12 and Cinderella is like, I gotta go. So she has to leave in a hurry and she leaves one glass slipper behind. The prince goes on this quest to find the woman who he was dancing with, and he only has a glass slipper to help him. So he goes around the town and tries on the shoes on different maidens and women. Lots of women in the village claim that it's their shoe, but they all don't fit. Their feet don't fit. Until he reaches Cinderella's house. Now this is where there's a lot of iterations of the story. In the original Grimm's tale, the stepmother has their stepsisters like cut down their feet, shave them off, and it's all bloody and stuff, and makes them force their foot into the slipper, which is awesome. In the Disney Cinderella, they just try it on and it doesn't fit until Cinderella comes out of hiding, she was forced to hide by her stepmother, and she tries on the slipper and it fits her like a glove, and it's revealed that she is a beautiful person he was dancing with at the ball, and they get married and she becomes the queen or princess of the land. And that's the beloved rags to riches tale that we are going to be retelling today. So how will this mechanic work? We have a magic 8-ball. If you don't know what a magic 8-ball is, basically you shake it, it gives you a fortune. So for example, am I going to be okay today? You roll it around and it says you can rely on it. So I'm gonna be okay today, guys. Thank you. I'm gonna talk really quickly about what inspired this series. I came out with this idea because I enjoy Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play it myself, but I enjoy watching people play it. And I also enjoy Dread, which is another tabletop roleplay game where the mechanic is a Jenga tower. So there are players and characters around the table, and if there is a critical moment that happens in their campaign, they have to pull a block from the tower. If the tower falls, the character dies. I thought that's really cool that someone incorporated a Jenga tower into this kind of roleplay game and storytelling. And so I looked around my room and I was like, what kind of toys do I have that I can use it for? Because I love the storytelling of D&D and Dread and using chance to see where your story takes you. I think that's super fun and cool. And so I remembered that I had this magic 8-ball, and so that's why I decided to create this series so I can experiment with this format and try and write a retelling of Cinderella using a magic 8-ball. Okay, enough about the setup and the introduction for the series. Let's get into what we're doing today. So today is all about just figuring out the setting, the characters, and a general arc or storyline of the retelling. To help us, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, I have my dice here, and we are going to be using them to help us decide basic things like the setting, the location, stuff like that. So I have a list, and based on the number that I roll, it's going to help us to decide certain things. You'll get it. Okay, first I'm gonna use a D12 and we're going to see, that's not my D12, my D12, and we're going to see when this takes place. So we have 3 options. Number 1, an unspecified past reminiscent of the medieval period, which is basically fairy tale time. Number 2 is present day, and number 3 is the future. So let's roll. We got 12, which means we're writing about the future. Oh, okay. There might be a lot of world building in this, and I'm worried, but you know, it's supposed to be a challenge. I don't think I've ever written really anything about the future, but like, I can kind of make stuff up, right? Next, we're gonna decide where it takes place. Number 1, in a fictional fairy tale neighborhood, or like a town or a place where magical things just happen. Number 2, Singapore. Number 3, the United States of America. Okay. 4, that is a fictional fairy tale neighborhood. I love that. Next, we're gonna do the genres. So I have 8 genres here. So I'm gonna take my D8 to help us roll 3 different genres out of the list. So we have fantasy, drama, romance, comedy, thriller, mystery, sci-fi, and action adventure. So let's roll. We got a 5, which is thriller. I don't like horror, and I don't like gore or body horror or anything like that, but like psychological thriller, now that I can get behind, as long as it's not too scary. Okay, we are gonna roll 2 more genres, so let's roll. That was a horrible roll. Okay, we got a 7, which is sci-fi, which kind of makes sense because we're in the future. Sorry if you hear my mouse, you know, I'm making sure I got this all down. Okay, next, last one, we have number 4, comedy. Okay, a comedy thriller. It's gonna be a thriller / horror, like slashers. I'm thinking like Hatchetfield, like Star Kid vibes, so that's where my head is at. If you don't know Star Kid, never mind. Now we're getting into the story itself. So we have 16 different tropes that I got. We're gonna use our D20 and we're gonna see what we land on. So these are the different story tropes that I've chosen. The chosen one: the hero's journey, newfound superpowers, cursed object, creepy old house, enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, lovers to enemies and back again, love triangles, fake relationship, found family, coming of age, redemption arc, underdog, self-sacrifice, and dark family secret. Very general, and also throw in some romance ones in there because I'm keeping specific elements of the story, which I should probably mention. So we will be keeping these elements: rich dad, dead mom, evil stepmother and stepsisters, Cinderella being mistreated, fairy godmother in some form, a festival for the prince or the ball, a party, Cinderella running from the prince, Cinderella's hidden identity, Cinderella's left slipper, and the prince looking for Cinderella. Okay, let's roll to see what story tropes we'll be doing. We have number 10. Fake relationship. Hell yeah. I love fake relationships. Ah, glorious. Okay, let's roll another one. 2. The hero's journey. Next. 17. We don't have a 17. It's a 6. Enemies to lovers. Hell yeah. I was just thinking like, oh, fake relationship where they both hate each other. It's probably not gonna be like a very like enemies, but at least annoyance, because I love that. I was doing like there was this Twitter thing where they were like, oh, my 4 favorite ships, and I picked 4, and then I realized like, oh, all of them were like annoyance to lovers kind of thing. Like they kind of hated each other a little bit, and then after that they ended up being together. So I'm like, oh, I have a type. Okay, let's do one more trope because we have 2 romance ones. Number 4, cursed object. Okay, we can work with that. So these are what we have selected, or what has been selected for us by the universe. Sorry. So the story is gonna be set in the future, in a fictional fairy tale neighborhood, or a neighborhood where magic and stuff happens. The genres are comedy, thriller / horror, and sci-fi. The story tropes are the hero's journey, a cursed object, enemies to lovers, and a fake relationship. Now let's go on to the characters. So this is where we're going to bring out our Magic 8 Ball to learn a little bit more about our characters. Okay, one thing I want to know. In this world, in the future, is magic just a thing that is normalized? Don't count on it. Okay, cool. So it's not like everywhere I go there's magic. It's not like in Marvel where like, oh yeah, Doctor Strange exists. I want to know a bit more about the cursed object. I know I said we're gonna get into the characters, but we gotta figure out like a general storyline as well. So I want to know if the cursed object is something that the fairy godmother gives to Ella for Ella to use. Or let's just start with gives to Ella. It is decidedly so. I mean, technically, if the fairy godmother is magic, everything that she gives is kind of cursed. I mean, it's kind of a curse for it to disappear by midnight. So, is that the case? Will the object disappear by midnight? You may rely on it. Okay, very classic. I want to know, is the fairy godmother a fairy? Like, is she classic Disney fairy godmother? Because I'm thinking like, what if it's a robot? It is certain. Okay, so she's a fairy. She was a fairy. So does she look human? You know what I mean? It is decidedly so. Okay, does she like, because you know the fairy godmother looks like an old woman, but does she like disguise like a everyday normal human being? Yes, just a yes. Okay, cool. Does Cinderella know who the fairy godmother is before like she reveals herself to be the fairy godmother? You know what I mean? Like maybe she's like her boss or something, or her neighbor, but then she realizes, oh, you're a fairy godmother. You may rely on it. Very positive. I'm kind of scared. I'm not rigging this, but it's being unusually nice to me. I'm gonna jinx it, but usually it's me, nah. Usually it's like, ask again later, cannot predict now. So, okay. So we kind of have a sense of what the fairy godmother is like. I want to know the age of the fairy godmother. Maybe relationship first. Like, is this Cinderella's actual godmother? It is certain. Is she... what vibes? I'm trying to ask, like, is she more young than what we might be imagining? Because, like, as in, like, is she... you know how, like, Aunt May, she's been portrayed as, like, an old woman, older, and then we have, like, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. That's what I'm thinking. So, like, which one is she? Is she, like, Marissa Tomei? Most likely. Amazing. So she's hot. Okay, let's go into the evil stepmother and the stepsisters. Is she just... a lot of my questions are, like, either or. Is she pure evil? Outlook good. Okay, she's pure evil. Is evil stepsister number 1 evil as well? By choice? You may rely on it. Okay. Same question but for number 2. They don't have names yet. Can't be bothered. It is certain. Okay, so they're all evil. Okay, cool. Was considering like a Maleficent and Mel kind of thing. Like, I don't want to be evil like you. Okay. It's just good, you guys. Sorry, I rewatched it recently. Anyway, so Cinderella and the prince are enemies. Or at least they kind of like hate each other. Do they... okay, how young is Cinderella? I'm gonna guess 18. Is Cinderella 18? My sources say no. Okay, is she 21? Without a doubt. Okay, awesome. Okay, so she's 21 years old. Is Ella in school? Ask again later. There it is. Finally, I'll first ask again later. Is Ella a student? Is she still in school? Yes, definitely. Is she and the prince like academic rivals? I'll look good. Amazing. Is the prince like royal? Or is it like figuratively like he's the son of a rich guy? Sorry, yes or no questions. Is he like of royalty? Don't count on it. He's just a rich boy. Better not tell you now. I really hate this one. Because I'm gonna make you anyway. Is the prince rich? Is he just a rich boy? Cannot predict now. The prince, is he a rich boy? It is decidedly so. Awesome. Awesome. I see you. I see you. Is Cinderella broke? Or is she like average? Better not tell you now. I don't care. Tell me now. Is Ella broke? Signs point to yes. Is it a situation where like her stepmother and stepsisters are rich, but they just don't give her money? Ask again later. Is the evil stepmother rich? Ask again later. Is the evil stepmother rich? Rich. Wealthy. Very doubtful. Oh, so they're all broke. That's sad. Okay, then we had to figure out why the evil stepmother married the father and why she treats Ella like crap. Did the evil stepmother love Ella's dad? Can I predict now? Did the evil stepmother love Ella's dad? You may rely on it. Okay, why would she hate Ella? Is Cinderella like better than her evil stepsisters? So it's like a spite thing? And I'll tell you now. Is Ella better than the stepsisters and that's why stepmother hates her? Very doubtful, okay. Is Ella more talented than her stepsisters? Although not so good. Then why does the evil stepmother torment Ella? Because she has to in some shape or form. Is it because Ella doesn't accept the stepmother as a maternal figure? Without a doubt. Okay. So the stepmother is pure evil, but Ella seems defiant as well. Okay, so here's what we know so far. Ella, she's 21 years old, she's in university, she's academic rivals with the prince, who's just a rich boy. She is broke, and she doesn't accept the stepmother as a maternal figure, which makes the stepmother very frustrated, and that's why they take it out on her. Fairy godmother is a fairy who looks human. She is actually Ella's actual godmother, but she also is a fairy, so it's like very literal. I want to know, does this story end with a happily ever after? Yes, definitely. Does anyone pass away at the end of the story? I'll look good. We need to figure out why Cinderella wants to go to this party the prince is throwing. Okay, so it's a fake relationship, so I'm thinking like Ella and the prince, they both have a common goal and they want to do this to stop the evil stepmother. It's a goal to stop the evil stepmother. Concentrate and ask again. Okay, let me rephrase that. Is Cinderella looking for like an escape route? As I see it, yes. Okay, so she's trying to escape. Is the prince trying to escape as well? I'll look good. So they're both trying to escape together. So I'm thinking fake relationship. They get together, they get married, and then they move away. So that's the plan. Am I correct? Are they trying to move away? Is that their plan? Yes, definitely. We still have to figure out the cursed object, but I think the premise is basically there. Looking at our elements to keep again, so we have rich dad, dead mom. So I'm thinking that married for the money, but then they spent all their money and now they're broke. And that's why Cinderella also doesn't see her as a maternal figure. Okay, cool. She needs to be mistreated. We'll figure that out. It's quite easy. Fairy godmother in some form, done. Festival for the prince, party, house party, right? Are we right? A house party? Let's try and ask again. Is the prince like event, is it like a house party? It is decidedly so. Okay. Do they have to use the cursed object to kill somebody? Yes, definitely. Oh my god. This means that the fairy godmother gave Cinderella a cursed object for Cinderella to kill somebody. Is it her evil stepmother? You can rely on it. And that's the end of the episode. We managed to figure out the setting and the basic plot of the story, and now we get to expand on it for the rest of the series. Oh, what is my goal for this series? Basically, my goal is to just do a solo reading of the final story, but my dream scenario would be to have people play the characters and do just like a video call reading of it. That could be really cool. So yeah, those are my goals for this series, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye!